Real. Yeah, how about Shem Yahweh Shabrak thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shemal Thun by Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. We got ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And since 1969, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that you are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? This is the Tuesday, I almost said scripture breakdown class. This is the Tuesday Brotherhood class. You understand? Coming to you live from Las Vegas. Precinct Officer Shabal holding down the class, standing in for Officer Rock. If any brothers and sisters have any questions, if you can go ahead and type them in. Anybody online, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. Anybody in the class, raise your hand. Since 1969, we've received so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? Give me 1 second. Actually, as I'm doing this, I'll ask brothers and sisters to do the same. If you brothers and sisters could like and share the class, Bob Kashaw, let everybody know that we live. Again, for those that are familiar with my classes, I don't just ask for brothers and sisters to share the classes that are coming out of Las Vegas, but I ask that brothers and sisters share the classes that are coming out of every city where there's a school, because brothers put a lot of hard work and effort, you understand, into putting these classes together. You know what I mean? And it's highly appreciated, you know what I'm saying, when brothers and sisters share these classes. You know what I mean? So the rest of Israel, you know what I'm saying, can get some of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as well. You get my point? So while I'm sharing the video, you know what I'm saying, I'll look to see if anyone has any questions. Looking to see, I don't see any questions so far. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and share the class myself. Again, this is the Tuesday Brotherhood class coming to you live from Las Vegas. You understand? If there's any brother or sister in the Las Vegas area who's looking for counsel, looking for the class, anything like that, you can hit us up on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas, and hit us up on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. You understand? If you're in need of counsel, you understand, if you're in need of, a breakdown, if you just have a question about a situation that you might be going through, anything like that, you know what I mean? You just go ahead and hit us up, all right? Again, ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook, ISUPK Nevada on YouTube. You understand? We have classes every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. on the West Coast. You understand? Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. Tuesday is the Brotherhood class. Wednesday is the Biblical Law class. And Thursday is the Scripture Breakdown class. Hey, Halak, what's going on, man? How about you on Sharper? There's no questions in the class, so the topic for tonight's class is have no fear and be of a good conscience. Have no fear and be of a good conscience. You understand? And we're gonna get some scriptures on both. We're gonna be reading about King David. You know what I mean? You'll see the difference in the classes. In the scriptures, and you'll be able to tell what's what. You get my point? So you'll be able to tell, because we're going to be talking about not having that spirit of fear, and then we're also going to go into having a good conscience as well. You know what I mean? And having a good conscience, you know what I'm saying, is brotherly. You know what I mean? having no fear, especially when it comes to this truth, is brotherly. You know what I mean? And what the UPK stands on brotherhood. You understand? And what goes hand in hand with brotherhood, sisterhood. You know what I mean? You can't have one without the other. The same thing that's required of brothers is the same thing that's required of sisters, with the exception of teaching classes and going to camp. You understand? And raising up zones. You know what I mean? But when I say the same thing that's required of when I say the same thing that's required of brothers is required of sisters, what I'm talking about is, you understand, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? Being righteous, being the same way we're required to be righteous men is the same way sisters are required to be righteous as well. You know what I mean? It's not a request from the Most High. You understand? It's a commandment from the Most High. You understand? And without brotherhood and without sisterhood, there's no way that, you know what I'm saying, we'd be able to be here as a nation. There's no way that this school would be able to stand, you understand, without that brotherhood and without that sisterhood. You know what I mean? What them brothers in Texas did, you understand, with the mission to Acuna, that right there was because of brotherhood. You know what I mean? Every time the brothers in Syracuse, you know what I'm saying, do a food giveaway. You know what I mean? Every time the brothers in Philly do a food giveaway, every time the brothers in Victorville do a food giveaway, you understand, that is brotherhood. You know what I mean? When them sisters out there in Delaware is making fresh plates, you understand, and standing out there for hours and hours and hours, you understand, that's sisterhood right there. You understand, when brothers going out to camp and they stand on their feet all day, you understand, and they come back to the school and the sisters coming from out the back, you understand, with hot plates, you understand, that's sisterhood right there. You get my point? And so that's the backbone of the UPK. That's what this book called the Bible is all about. You understand? It has instructions for us. It has rules and guidelines for us to live by. It has our culture in here. You understand? And all those things, you understand, all those things are all wrapped in a brotherhood. You get my point? So I don't see any questions online. There's no questions in the class. So we're going to go ahead and get into the topic. Again, the title for tonight's class is have no fear and be of a good conscience. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with King David. All right. First Samuel is the 17th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 1. So now as we reading about King David, as you're reading along, or if you're just listening, right, you'll see both. You'll see, you know what I'm saying? You'll see three things. You know what I mean? And as we're reading along, I'll ask you what those three things are. You know what I'm saying? But one of the clue is, you know what I'm saying, the title of tonight's class. But there's a third thing, you understand, as we reading along, that you'll hear and that you'll notice as we read along. All right. Let me get there. This is First Samuel, the 17th chapter. And we're gonna start at verse 1. All right. It says, now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Shokal, which belongeth to Judah, and pitched between Shokal and Azekah in Ephes Damim. Verse 2. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. Right. So off top, what you're seeing is, again, we talk about the Most High being a man of war, you know what I mean? And all throughout these scriptures, we're reading about war. You get my point? We're reading about Israel going to war with these other nations. You understand? Verse 3. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side. And there was a valley between them. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits in a span. I had this written down somewhere, what a cubit was, or how much a cubit was. I do not remember on the top of my head. If I remember, I'll try to have that for Thursday's class. If anyone wants to know, you know what I'm saying, or if anybody that's watching this tape, you know what I'm saying, remembers what a cubit is, You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and type it in the chat, all right? But Salakia, I do not remember what a cubit is, but the scripture saying that Goliath's height was 6 cubits in a span. So the fact that they're telling you what his height is, if that don't tell you nothing else, what should you know about Goliath? If you don't know nothing else, if you don't know what a cubit is, what should you know about what we just read about Goliath? Anybody online? Right. That's right. He was big. He was a big dude, right? Just like when you look at right, exactly, says he was a big dude, right? And when we say big, right? Halak, you got it as well. He was a big dude, right? You know, because of the Christian church will make you believe that this dude was 80 feet tall. They'll make you believe that he was that. They'll make you believe that fee, fi, fo, fum. They'll make you believe that that's real. You understand? The brother said he was a big African. That's exactly what he was. So he wasn't 80 feet tall. He wasn't 50 feet tall. He wasn't none of those things. You know what I'm saying? If you want to think about an African, you want to think about a big African, you think about somebody like Manute Bol, right? I know I just dated myself by saying Manute Bol. I lost a gang, y'all, when I said that, but let's go forward a little bit. How about Akeem Olajuwon? Okay, yeah, like the dude from the yeah, exactly, like the Jack and the Beanstalk. That's what the Christian church will tell you. You get my point about Goliath, according to them. You know what I mean? He was like Jack and the Beanstalk, which what the brother said in his comment is heavy. He called it, he titled it correctly, Jack and the Beanstalk fairy tale. You understand? What did the Christian church teach? They teach fairy tales. So their version of David and Goliath, that's exactly what it is. It's a fairy tale. You get my point? Because they try to put this spin on it, and they take out the purity in this breakdown, which we actually getting ready to get into right now. All right. So you think of, you know what I mean? Like I said, Hakeem Olajuwon, you know what I mean? You think of Manute Bol, you think of what's the cat's name that's in the NBA right now? Giannis Antetokounmpo. You think about cats like that. You know what I'm saying? Them was though he would be considered a big African. You get my point? And so Goliath, he might have been a little bit taller than them, might have been a little bit bigger, but the point is he wasn't this, 20 feet tall and all that stupid stuff that they try to tell you. All right, let's keep reading. Verse 5. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, right? A coat of mail is basically just a metal coating. You know what I'm saying? He had his armor on. He was ready for war, right? And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. So that right there lets you know he was a big dude. You know what I'm saying? And the reason how you know he's a big dude is because of all this armor that he had on. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't be a little dude and be wearing all that armor. You understand? Verse 6, and he had greaves of brass upon his legs and a target of brass between his shoulders. So this dude, Slocky, this dude was ready for war. You get my point? He was their champion. You understand? He was like, the dude that they went to when anytime it was some funk. You know what I mean? On the left-hand side, not glorifying that lifestyle or whatever, but you think about, you know what I'm saying, when you grew up in the hood, there was always that one dude that you can go to that if there was any kind of funk, you know what I'm saying, that he was going to be with it. You get what I'm saying? And that's what Goliath was to the Philistines. You know what I'm saying? The reason why they had so much confidence when it came time for them to go to war is because they had this big African on their side. All right. Verse 7, and the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron, and one bearing a shield went before him. So in other words, man, this dude was ready for war. And I don't like giving heathens no credit. I don't really like speaking too high on heathens. You understand? So I'm not going, you know what I'm saying, speak too much, but I'll just let you know that this is a big cat. And he was big just based on the amount of armor that he had on. You understand me? And based on the weight of his spear's head. It's not even talking about the spear itself. You understand me? It's talking, that right there, it just described the weight of the spearhead. You understand? Verse 8. And he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and ye servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. Right? So what did Goliath just do right now? What did he do? How would you say what Goliath just did today? What did he do? Anybody know? What did Goliath just do when he was talking to the Israelites? I give y'all a couple seconds. I'm gonna give it to y'all, all right, and then we'll keep going. Okay. That's it right there. The brother said intimidate. Yeah, he was trying to intimidate them as well, but what he was doing was he was calling them out. You know what I mean? Exactly. The brother said he just called somebody out to squabble. He wanted their best fighter. Everything that y'all said was correct. Everything that y'all said was correct. He was trying to intimidate them. You understand? He was calling them out. You know what I mean? And he was looking to squabble with their best fighter. And like the brother said, he was looking for the smoke. You get my point? That's how everything that y'all said is exactly how we say it today. You understand? Or if you me, you know what I'm saying, you'll say, you know what I'm saying, he wanted some beef. You understand? Or he wanted some funk or something like that. That's how I would say it. You know what I mean? You younger cats, y'all say he wants to smoke and all that kind of stuff. Hey, to each his own. You know what I mean? But the point of the matter is he wanted to get down. You know what I'm saying? He was ready for the get down. You understand? Verse 9. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants and serve us. Verse 10. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. You know what I'm saying? So this cat, he talking real big right here. You understand? Verse 11. When Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. You know what I'm saying? Because it already says it, I was getting ready to ask at the end of this verse, you know what I'm saying? What spirit did Saul and Israel have on them? You understand? But it says it at the end of the verse. You know what I'm saying? But for the purpose of the title, you know what I'm saying? They were in fear. Even King Saul. Let's read it again. This is 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 11. It says, and when Saul and all Israel heard those words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. And here's the thing about it is, right? Throughout history, even when you fast forward to today, a lot of fights are won just based on words alone. You understand? A lot of times, if you can talk the talk, a lot of times, if you can talk the talk, you would talk yourself out of a lot of situations because you talking so big and so tough. A lot of times, I ain't saying all the time, but a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you'll be able to scare a cat to where he's not even gonna want to see you. You get my point? That's what Saul, I mean, not so slightly. That was what Goliath was trying to do. You know what I mean? He was talking so tough, you know what I mean, that he's scared, you know what I'm saying? He even scared King Saul. You get my point? And if anybody know anything about King Saul, he was a rider. You get my point? For time's sake, let's drop down to verse 22. Let's get some of 22, right? And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren. Actually, I'm gonna skip up to 20 so y'all can see what David had going on, and then we'll drop down to 22. All right. And David rose up early in the morning and left the sheep with a keeper and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to fight and shouted for the battle. So in other words, David got up early, you know what I'm saying, to do his job, you know what I'm saying, to deal with the sheep and all that, right? He heard the war cry, and he like, oh shit, it's time for battle. It's going down. Let me go see what the business is, right? So when you drop down to verse 22, it says, and David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage and ran into the army and came and saluted his brethren. You understand? So for those that want to know, you know what I'm saying, why we salute, you get what I'm saying? Because it's our custom. And when I say salute, you know what I mean? I ain't talking about the salute that the Americans do to one another or the one that the Russians do to one another. And I'm not even going to emulate it because, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to give off anything to try to glorify the way the Americans get down on any other nation. You know what I mean? But if you just think about us and you think about us having the flavor that we have, I wouldn't be surprised if their salute was similar to the way we salute each other today. You know what I mean? So like, and you know what I'm saying, in the school, you know what I mean, we got a certain salute that we get to the brothers, you know what I mean? But then when you think about even outside the school, right, when you dealing with brothers, you understand, you have a certain handshake. You see what I'm saying? Or you have a certain dap, you know what I mean? Or you got a certain pound that you give to your own. You get my point? Something that y'all don't even know each other. But when y'all see each other and y'all introducing yourself to one another, you know what I'm saying? That salute y'all on one accord. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the same people. You get what I'm saying? You can't do that same salute with a heathen. They're gonna be confused as hell. They're not gonna know what the hell to do. You understand? So that's what David did, right? Verse 23. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them. What does that mean when it says, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them? What happened there? So think about it. Not King David. It's like he wasn't King David at this time. So I don't want to call him King David right now because he wasn't the king yet, right? But David goes down to his brothers and he want to know what's going on. You get what I'm saying? And so he hear Goliath talking. The brother said he was talking. He was the same shit he was talking a few verses up. He came talking the same shit he was talking before. He came back talking again. The difference is David heard him this time, right? Verse 24. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. There's that word again. You get my point? They were afraid. You get what I'm saying? And you'll see the difference as we keep reading. You'll see the difference. And somebody will be able to pick up on it and point it out real quick, right? Let's get some more. Verse 25. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this man that has come up? Surely to defy Israel, he has come up. Right, exactly, brother. That's exactly right. The fear, right? Verse 25 says, and the men of Israel said, have you seen this man that has come up? Surely to defy Israel as he come up. In other words, you know what I'm saying? He has no disrespect for Israel whatsoever because he just stepped to them. You get my point? That's how we would say it today. And shall it be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches and will give him his daughter and make his father's house free in Israel. Verse 26, and David spoke to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine and taketh away the reproach from Israel? Right? Before we keep reading, right? This king, it's like I keep wanting to say, I'm so used to saying King David, you know what I mean? That I keep forgetting that he's not King David at this time. So y'all bear with me. All right, when I say this, not intentional. So David wants to, he's curious. He like, what's happening, man? What is the reward for killing this African? You know what I'm saying? Or this Hamite, whatever word you want to use. You know what I'm saying? What is the reward for killing this heathen? This is what David is asking, right? And then he said, and taketh away the reproach from Israel. What is the reproach that David's talking about? What is the reproach that David is talking about right here in verse 26? Razan, what's going on, Hebrew? How you doing, man? Disapproval. You You close, Halak. You own it. You right there. But not quite, but you right there though. You closer. You're getting closer by saying disappointment. Anybody else? Hey, Shalom Shabbat. Nah, you now you getting a little bit cold now. You was closer to it when you said disappointment. Give you a couple more seconds, I'm gonna give it to y'all, all right? No, that's not it either. No. Let's read it again. What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine and taketh away the reproach from Israel? That's what he's asking. This is what David is asking. All right, I'm gonna give it to y'all, and then if y'all typing in as I'm going over it, you know what I mean. I'll let you know. All right, but what David is asking is he's saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine and taketh away the shame from Israel? And you're right. Now that part is correct. David sees the fear of Israel, and that fear, you know what I'm saying, is shame. You know what I'm saying? David seen how they were afraid, you know what I mean? And that brought shame to Israel, reproach. You understand? So he's saying, how do we, you know what I'm saying? What is the reward for killing this Philistine and taking away the shame or the fear, you know what I'm saying, from Israel? Now, let's read forward, and I want y'all to tell me what happens next. He says, for who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? What did David just do? Right there. What did he just do? Let's read it again. Let's read it again from the top. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine and taketh away the reproach from Israel? Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? This is David talking right here, and he's asking a question, right? What did David just do right now? What is David on? What is David on at the end of verse 26? It says, for who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? You kind of own it by saying he shamed the Hamite. You kind of own it a little bit, but it's deeper than that though. It's a little bit deeper than that. What David said, and this is the clue. What David said to them is the same things that we would say. You know what I mean? If we was at camp and somebody came or was trying to come up against the camp, if a heathen wanted to come up against the camp, you get my point? What David was saying, the same thing that we would say. So that right there is your clue. He said, for who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? That's what I was looking for right there. The brother Halak. You understand? Who the hell is this filthy ass heathen? You understand? Stepping to the armies of the living God. Like who does he think he is? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta understand. Like back then, that was exactly like that was disrespectful back then. You know what I mean? Because some of the words that we use today wasn't around back then. You get my point? So David's way of dissing and being disrespectful and talking and running his mouth, you know what I'm saying? His way of dissing was by calling him an uncircumcised Philistine. You understand? How we would say it today, which goes to show just how much times have changed. Because how we would say it today is, Who the hell is this stinking ass, funky ass African trying to come up against the camp? Who this stinking ass cow eating goddamn heathen think he talking to? You understand? Who the hell do he think he is coming up against the armies against the living power Yahweh? You understand? That's how we was funky ass. Who the fuck you think he is? That's how we would say it. You get my point? And the brother's on it. He's saying we have to step up and defend our Father. You know what I'm saying? Our God. That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because of the Most High. Like, man, we serve the Most High. You get my point? What did David have? You understand? What did David have that we have today and that his brothers didn't have then? Yes, he did. So if he had courage, what didn't he have? The sister said courage. That King David. I keep saying King David Salaki, y'all. She said the brother had courage, which is correct. You know what I mean? This is exactly how I can see Shabayala out there in North Carolina right now. It could be him and two brothers. You understand? And it could be some spear chucking, cow piss breath smelling ass Africans. You understand? You can smell them coming from a mile away. You understand? And Shabayala is gonna look up and he's gonna tap his brothers. He's gonna say, man, look at these stinking ass Africans trying to press up on us, man. You can see them coming from a mile away. Not only can you smell them, but you can see their lip dragging the goddamn ground for them big ass plates in their lips. You understand me? Who the hell these niggas think they is, man? These niggas want funk. Like, what's happening around here? They ain't gonna want no funk because they already got the funk. So we're not gonna use that word because they coming with the funk. You understand? So how we would say it is they want beef. You understand? They want some problem. Like, what's happening? You understand? How y'all say y'all want some smoke? Like, what's going on? You understand? So he didn't have fear. That's it. The sister said that he didn't have fear. That's exact. That's in Iraq. That's exactly. He didn't. That's correct. David is just like us. The same spirit that we was in. You look at you when you look at the Kentucky 8. You understand? The Kentucky 8 had no fear. You understand? They was ready for the funk. You know what I mean? That's the same spirit that David was in, right? So he's saying, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? This is 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 26, right? And that's the same mindset that we would have, right? That's the same mindset that we have. You understand? That's why we do all that training on Sundays. You understand me? So he has no fear. That's the same spirit that's on us. That's the same spirit that his brother should have had as well, right? Let's get some more. And the people answered him after this manner, saying, so shall it be done to the man that killeth him. In other words, when you read in verse 25, everything that they ran down to him, they're saying, what we told you is the reward for killing this Philistine, right? Verse 28, and Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, why camest thou down hither? Right? He was mad at David, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you got mad back then. That's how you would talk back then. You know what I'm saying? It says Eliab's anger was kindled against David, and he said, why camest thou down hither? Right? What did Eliab just show you right now? What did he just show you right now? By him getting mad at David, because David come out like, who the hell is Philistine? Who he think he talking to? Who the hell he think is trying to come up against the Lord's army? Right? Eliab gets mad at David, and he says something to David. What is Eliab showing you? What is he showing you right there? Go ahead.
He didn't have any courage. He was afraid.
Exactly. Don't make him matter. Why you talking like that? Hold on, man. Chill, man. Shh. Hey, man, don't be talking like that. He can hear you. You know what I'm saying? That's if this is going on today, that's how he put him to say, hey, man, let me holler at you. Hey, man, you don't be doing that, man. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Because he was scared, right? Yeah, exactly. He was acting like a coward. That's the perfect way to say it. You know what I'm saying? They was already showing he was mighty in talent, and he said, yeah, you're right. David was showing you what he was made of way back then. You're absolutely right, brother. It says, and then he says, why camest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know thy pride in the naughtiness of thine heart, for thou art come down that thou mightest see the battle. Right? So he's sitting there trying to chastise David. You know what I'm saying? He's worried about the cattle. Why David ain't with the cattle? Who's looking out for the cattle? You and your naughtiness, you came down here to see the battle. You trying to see what's going on. Right? Verse 29. And David said, what have I now done? Is there not a cause? What is David? What that first part of verse 29, what is that telling you about David? Right, exactly. He more worried about the sheep. You know what I'm saying? Which go to show you that brother's fear. You get my point? But what is David saying in 29 though? That part is funny to me. David was a man of war. You're right. You are absolutely right. Halak is only. So what is David? How would you say that today? What David just said? And David said, what have I now done? What is he saying? Yeah, you're right. David was bold and firm. Go ahead.
What's you tripping for now?
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? What the problem is? You understand? What I do now? Why you fucking with me now? You understand? God damn. I ain't fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we would say it today. He's so lucky. You know what I mean? That's exactly he probably like, God damn, man, now what, man? Why you damn? You know what I'm saying? I came there to see what the business is. You know, I came there because y'all niggas is scary. So I came there to see what's happening. Since y'all niggas don't want to do it, nigga, I want to know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it would be said today. But again, back then, you know, this is way back then. No, exactly. You see how I get it. You know what I'm saying? What I do, man? Like, are you tripping on me, man? What's the deal? Like that's how he be saying it, right? He says, "Is there not a cause?" This is what David is saying. He said, "Is there not a cause?" In other words, is there not a reason for me to be here? That's what he's saying. Like, you telling me I shouldn't be here? Like, nigga, it's wartime. Like, why shouldn't I be here? Right? Where we at? Verse 30. And he turned from him toward another and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him again after the former manner. Right? So it's talking about the conversation that was taking place a little earlier, right? 31. And when the words were heard which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. What does that mean? That they rehearsed the words before Saul. What does that mean? Anybody know? What does that mean? Go ahead.
They went and told Saul what he said.
They been running to Saul like, Saul, you wouldn't believe what this little nigga just said. That's what just happened. You know what I'm saying? Hey, now real talk. How the brother was reporting for duty. He's about his father's business. You know what I'm saying? And you know that David was about his father's business because when you go back up to 26, he said that he should defy the armies of the living God. That's how you know what David was on. You know what I'm saying? They went back there. They went back giving Saul the whole rundown. They couldn't wait to go back and tell. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what they was trying to do as well as go and tell Saul what happened. What else was they trying to do? What else was they trying to do while they was busy going to go tell Saul what David said?
They was trying to make David look bad.
That's true, but what else though? It's kind of funny, like when you think about it. Yeah, they was trying to. Well, yeah, okay. They was trying to put David in the mix. That's true. You know what I'm saying? They was pushing David to the front. But what else was they doing? You know what I'm saying? In the midst of going to go tell Saul. What did they do? Go ahead.
They kept themselves out of the battle.
That's it right there. They got the hell out of there. They couldn't wait to go tell Saul what this dude said. That's what was going on right there. They like, shit, I'm telling Saul. You know what I mean? When you think about it, that's funny as hell. They couldn't wait. And because it says they rehearsed them before Saul. In other words, everything that he said, they went back. Like they was ready. Like they probably was getting their story straight on the way there. Like they all present. So you remember what he said when you called him an uncircumcised Philistine. Let's not forget that part. Because they want to put it all on David. So in other words, Saul won't send none of them niggas. So he trying to make sure they put David in the front. You know what I mean? They got the hell up out of there. The brothers say they strolled out. That's exactly what happened, right? Let's get some more. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. right? Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. What did David just tell Saul right there? What did David just say to Saul? Let's read it again. And David said to Saul, let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with the Philistine. What did he say? How would you say that today? Go ahead.
You became no cowards.
That's true. That's true. That's the gist of it. You know what I'm saying? David is letting you know he ain't no coward by saying, you know what I'm saying, I'll go and fight with this Philistine. You see what I'm saying? He said, thy servant will go fight with this Philistine. You know what I'm saying? But a little bit, but at the beginning, what is he saying? He ain't said all that, but I feel where you coming from. I feel where you coming from, though. Like I feel you though. You know what I'm saying? But actually, in that instance, I mean, it might be fair to say. You know what I mean? It might be. Let me see if anybody get it. He said, let's read it again. Let no man's heart fail because of him. Go ahead.
He said, do not be scared of that funky African.
That's it right there, man. Don't be scared because this dude, man. Tell these dude to kick back, man. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Don't be, man. Tell them dude to stop being so goddamn scary. It says, let no man's heart fail. Think about what he's saying, though. He's saying, let no man's heart fail because of him. In other words, man, don't let these, man, listen, man, tell these scary ass niggas to relax. Don't have a heart attack. You understand me? Don't have a panic attack. You know what I mean? Go get them niggas some paper bags so they can breathe in a bag and all that other kind of shit because they going into cardiac arrest. You understand? Relax yourself. You know what I mean? I'll go fight the funky Philistine. Don't even trip. You know what I mean? I'll put something up my nose so I ain't got to smell his nasty ass, but I'll go whoop his ass. Y'all don't worry about nothing since y'all niggas ain't got the heart to do it. Fuck, I got it. That's what he's saying, right? Verse 33. And Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. Right? So what is Saul trying to pump into David right there? Whether he did it intentionally or not, what was it that he would, how would that come off? If somebody said that to you, how would that come off to you? Go ahead.
That you're too young for this.
No, it's a little deeper. It's a little deeper than that. He said, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. In other words, this dude has been fighting since he was a kid. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to scare the dude. You know what I'm saying? So what he's saying is Goliath been a soldier. You know what I'm saying? He been fighting since he was little. You know what I mean? And by telling David that, you know what I'm saying, you trying to pump fear into him. You get what I'm saying? But let's see what David is made of, though, right? Check this out. This is verse 34. And David said unto Saul, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out the flock. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. You get what I'm saying? Pretty. Now, tell me what, you more own it. That's kind of like what Saul was saying to David. Pumping fear into him. You see what I'm saying? Or trying to pump fear into him. But David's response, what did David's response tell you about David? He just sat there and gave him the rundown. So, and then y'all gotta really pick up what he laying down in these verses, man. Listen to what this dude said. He said, thy servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear. A lion and a bear, and took a lamb out the flock. And I went out after him. He didn't say we. He didn't say he called his dad. He didn't say none of that. He said, and I went out after him and smote him. In other words, he fired on the beast and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, in other words, when he tried, you know what I'm saying? When he came to me, when he tried to have some smoke with me, he said, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. So in other words, he came back at him and he handled his business. You get what I'm saying? Because why? Because David is letting him know, hey man, don't just because I'm young, nigga, I'm with the business too. You know what I'm saying? I slew a lion, you know what I'm saying? I slew a lion and a bear. Come on with it.
As a lucky sir, more than anything, David absolutely knew what the Most High would do for him.
Right.
He knew he had nothing to be afraid of. And that's what he was telling them.
Exactly.
None to be afraid of.
And that's the thing right there. And that's the same thing. That's on the point with the brother saying on the chat. You know what I mean? This brother saying, listen, man, I was willing to go to war for these sheep. You know what I'm saying? I went to go save that sheep. You know what I mean? So the same way, if I did that, if I fought a lion and a bear for this sheep, you think I'm not gonna fight this African? You understand? For my God? You understand? Yahweh in the Hebrew? Man, please. Man, like he tell you, like, man, don't worry about nothing, right? Then he goes a little bit deeper with it, though, right? Verse 36. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear. You get my point? Y'all gotta feel King David on this. Not King David. Y'all gotta feel David on this because it gets deeper. Let's read 36. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God. You see what I'm saying? So to the brother's point, you know what I'm saying? He knew about the Most High. Like that's what the brother just said in the chat. You know what I'm saying? He knew about the Most High because once again, he's speaking about the armies of the living power. And once again, he dissed that African in the process. He said, he said, thy servant killed the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, meaning what? The same way I killed this lion and this bear, the same way I'm gonna kill this punk-ass African is what he's telling Saul. You see what I'm saying? Like David, that's why when the scripture said that you know what I'm saying, that David was a man after the Lord's own heart, because he had that mindset. He was all about the war. He was all about warfare. You know what I'm saying? He said, seeing he had defied the armies of the living God. You get my point? David for sure knew what time it was. Verse 37, David said, moreover, the Lord that hath delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And this, right, what we just read is exactly what the brother been saying in his last few comments in the chat. You know what I'm saying? He loved the Most High and he feared him. You see what I'm saying? And that right there gave him the confidence. And if it gave him the confidence in the Lord, what did it take away from David? If he had confidence in the Lord and he served the Lord, what did David not have? Exactly. He didn't have no fear. You get what I'm saying? He didn't have a spirit of fear because he served the Lord. You get my point? And that's like the brother said, that's why David didn't have no fear. He didn't fear nothing. You know what I'm saying? The brother said the Hamite is no different than the beast of the field that I slew. That's exactly what David is saying. Y'all picking up exactly what's being laid down right here. You know what I mean? And Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee. Verse 38, and Saul armed David with his armor, and he put an helmet of brass upon his head. Also, he armed him with a coat of mail. And David girded his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off. What does it mean when David said, I have not proved them? Why did David take off all that armor? What did David know about that armor? What did David know about that armor, which caused him to take it off? The clue is, and David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. What does that mean? What was David telling Saul?
He had never fought with those before. They weren't his, and he would be going out under the power of those things as opposed to the power of the Most High.
Everything you said is correct. He hadn't proved them. It didn't fit. That's true as well, Razan. It didn't fit, but it was something deeper than that. He never used that before. He didn't know nothing about that. You got him wearing all these things. Like, man, I ain't never worked out in none of this stuff. I ain't never trained in this. So this ain't me right here. So I'm gonna take all this off because I'm not saying David said this part. This is more so me. Like, I'm not gonna feel comfortable fighting in this because, you know what I'm saying, it don't fit me. I haven't trained in this. You get my point? That's like that's no different than, you know what I'm saying, if you practicing with a basketball that's inflated, let's just say to 7 ounces, right? But come game time, you playing with a ball that's 14 ounces. You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna want to practice with that with a 7 ounce ball all week because it's going to be a different. You're not, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have to adjust. Well, David was going to war, so there was no time to adjust. So he's like, damn, all that. I'm taking all this off. You get my point? Come on with it.
That was all of Saul's stuff. Now Saul was the tallest man in Israel anyway. So all that stuff would have been too big for David.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have, it just wouldn't work for David.
Right. So let's get some more. It's like it. This is verse 39. And David girded his sword. Oh, actually, we read that already. This is verse 40. And he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had even in a scrip. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. 41. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy in a fair countenance. How would you break down verse 42? Well, I'll give y'all a chance. I'm going to read it again. And how would you break down verse 42? This says, and when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy in a fair countenance. So before we get into the breakdown, right, that word ruddy is a word that fake Israelites or Christians or whoever is against this book loves to use to try to say that David was a white man. You get my point? When all you have to do is look up the word ruddy. You get what I'm saying? And in this context right here, right, that's exactly what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? It's more to the breakdown, but I wanted to point that part out real quick. One of the reasons why Goliath hated David, because he's looking at him like, look at this old pretty, y'all didn't send this old pretty boy, you know what I mean, to fight me. Like I'm about the war, and y'all didn't send this little punk ass boy. Like that's how he's looking at him. It's no different than when you think about when you was in high school, right? And you had the light skinned dude with the light brown eyes and the curly top. You know what I'm saying? Wore the cologne, and you understand, had the fresh gear on and all that. In your mind, you didn't look at him and say, "Oh yeah, that nigga with the business." The first thing that came to your mind is, "That's a pretty boy." You know what I mean? If it was a cat that had, you know what I'm saying, had the beehive. I don't know if y'all know what the beehive is. You know what I'm saying? That's an old school term where they really don't do the. I don't really see nobody rocking the, you know what I'm saying, with they shit on point like that. You know what I mean? For those that don't know, you know what I'm saying, because once upon a time I had the beehive on deck, and what the beehive is, and then your waves, nigga, was so strong, and your waves was so hardcore, and your waves was so locked in that back part right there looked like a beehive because it was like swirling like that. You understand? That nigga used to get that royal crown hair grease. You understand? And put that thing, stick that shit down, put that hot towel on there, boy. No, hit it with that brush, put that wave cap on. Nigga, it is on the next day for school. They went to school with the straight beehive. You know what I'm saying? But exactly, old school. See, Halak know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Halak tried to do the beehive thing. You know what I'm saying? But his hair was too thick for all that. They wasn't having that. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't go home with that. Mom was gonna hit him with that chocolate. She wasn't going for all that. You know what I mean? But it's all good. He's still my man's anyway, though. You know what I mean? But the point of the matter is, that's who was looked at as a pretty boy. If you walk around brushing your hair all the time, and you know what I'm saying, using your hair, using your hand as a brush, and you just constantly just doing the pattern, and you just doing like that, or that's an old school term as well, having niggas seasick because of all the waves. You know what I mean? That's when you knew your shit was locked in, when people would see you and they would say that right there, and you just rub the back of your shit like, yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? Nigga shit was on point. That was back in the day, man. But Man, the waves used to be on deck, man. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? The whole point is, I did a whole class about pretty boys. Lucky. The whole point is that's how that's that's how Goliath looked at David. Who this old wavy hair ass nigga right here? Who this yellow nigga right here? That's how he looked, just with just so much disdain and so much disrespect. You know how black and tar looking these Africans is. You get my point. So when they see a pretty nigga, they hate off top just because Africans is ugly as a motherfucker. You get my point? They ugly. You get what I'm saying? I mean, them some ugly bastards. You get what I'm saying? But meanwhile, you look at Israel, and Israel on point. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. The bottom line is, right? The Hamites, you know what I'm saying? They don't look like us, which is another reason why I don't understand why we, meaning us as a nation, try so hard to tie ourselves to them. When you see any semi-decent looking Hamite, you can damn near bet your life that his mama is Israel. He might still be a Hamite because you are the seed of your father. But if there's any kind of good looks, any kind of talent or anything, it's coming from that mama. You know what I'm saying? Because even though you are the seed of your father, you still got the blood of the other parent in you. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep reading. And this for verse 43. And the Philistines said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. In other words, he started talking crazy to David. Let me look up staves real quick. I had that written down somewhere. Let me find that real quick. Give me a second. Let's see. Okay. A vertical wooden post or plank in a building or other structure. Let me see if there's some more definitions. Any length of wood attached side by side to make a barrel, bucket, or other container. This is the proper definition, and this is why context is everything. This is why when we don't understand a word, we go to the dictionary. You understand? And we find a word that applies to the scripture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the definition that we're looking for is a strong wooden stick or iron pole used as a weapon. You understand? This is the Oxford Language Dictionary. A strong wooden stick or iron pole used as a weapon. That's what King David had. David, damn, man, I'm having a hard time with that, y'all. It's lucky. That's what David had. He had a stave, a stick. You understand? A wooden stick or an iron stick. You know what I'm saying? That was used as a weapon, right? And the Philistine cursed David. In other words, he disrespected David, right? 44. And the Philistine said to David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. In other words, what he was saying to David was, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to feed you to the birds and to the rest of the beasts. Right? So as we can see, Goliath he popping mad shit right now, right? This dude, he talking real reckless, as is how you would say it today, right? But check out what David is about. Some lucky, y'all, again. Check out what David is on, though. Verse 45, then David said to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. That right there, before we even read the rest of this, that right there is how you know, you understand, that David was going to win this fight. Because he came in the name of the Most High, and he came to defend the name of the Most High and to defend the honor of Israel. You understand? And the scriptures say, I'm paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? If you serve the Lord, you know what I'm saying, he will be an enemy unto thy enemy. I'm paraphrasing. I believe that's in Proverbs. Y'all get the point, though. You understand? And so because David served the Most High, David's enemy became the Most High's enemy. So it's pretty much a wrap from there. You understand? Verse 46, this day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something right now. If there's any brother or sister watching this tape right now, or if there's someone that's reading this story for the first time, you know what I'm saying, and you brand new, just now learning who you are and stuff like that, this shit right here should send chills up your spine, and this right here should help you fight off that spirit of fear. And this right here is scriptures like this that should give you that zeal and that spirit to want to serve the Lord. Because David is telling you, man, if you serve the Lord, you understand, the Lord will be with you. You know what I'm saying? That script, man, listen, man, we all know that this whole Bible is heavy. We all know that. But this verse right here, man, this is one of the most powerful and most motivating verses that you will ever read in this whole book. So much so that we're going to read it again. This is verse 46. This is 1 Samuel 17 and 46. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand. He didn't say, I will deliver. He said the Lord in doing. So what is he doing? He's giving the Most High all the credit. Why? Because King David knows that without the Lord, he's nothing. He can't accomplish anything without the Lord being on his side, which should tell us what today? What should that tell us today? Based on what David just said in that first line. For time's sake, I'm going to give it to y'all because I got a lot of scriptures I want to go over. For time's sake, I'm going to give it to y'all. We're in the condition that we're in today because the Lord is not on our side. And why the Lord not on our side? Because we don't serve him. You understand? That's why the Lord is not on our side. You get my point? But the Lord was with David, and he knew it. This is 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 46. We're going to read it again. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee. So not only did David tell me he's going to kill him, he said he's going to cut his damn head off, right? And I will give the carcasses of the hosts of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air. He's going to feed them to the birds and to the wild beasts of the earth. That all the earth, this part right here, man, it said that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. It don't say gods, plural. It says God, singular. So all these false gods that y'all serving out here, when I say y'all, I'm talking about us, meaning us as a nation. You understand? In Israel, there's only one God. His name is Yahweh in the Hebrew. You understand me? Verse 47. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hands. Right? Which goes into Deuteronomy 32 and 39, when the Lord said, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. That's what David is saying right here. Verse 48, and it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. What did David do right there? It said he hasted. So what did David do right there, man? What did he do? Let's read it again. And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. David ran towards him. He didn't run away from him. He ran towards him. You know what I'm saying? Which shows you what? David had no fear. You understand? David was about his father's business. You know what I mean? David was a rider, man. He was with the program. You know what I'm saying? He was with all the folk. He ran towards and he ran toward the army. Exactly. Like Tyler, where he rushed him. You know what I'm saying? He was ready. He was with that business, right? And David put in his hand his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead and he fell upon his face to the earth, which lets you know two things. One, that wasn't no little ass pebble, which I think that's what the Christian church tried to teach, like some little ass rock or something like that. You know what I mean? That had to be a stone of a decent size for it to sink into his forehead. Think about this being a big African, right? And so if he's big, you know what I'm saying? You already know them Africans got some big ass heads. Got them big water heads, you know what I mean? Big deformed ass retard heads, right? He hit that dude in the forehead so hard that the goddamn rock sunk into his head. Think about that for a second. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. He ran toward the armies of the African, right? It says, So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore, David ran and stood upon the Philistine and took his sword. Let's go back, man. Man, listen, man. Y'all got to understand what the hell just happened right here. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Understand what's going on here. David killed Goliath without a sword. And the scripture's telling you he did not have a sword. Let's keep reading. Verse 51. Therefore, David ran and stood upon the Philistine and took his sword and drew it out of the sheath thereof and slew him and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. Listen, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, that right there, you understand? That took two things. It took two things. You understand? David had two things that was working in his favor as to why it was that he was able to kill his African.
He had faith and he had courage.
Man, get it, man. That's exactly what those are the two words I was looking for. He had faith, and he had courage. So if he had courage, that means he couldn't have had any fear. You get my point? Like that right there, man, is crazy, man, because I like teaching this class right here. I like speaking on this because I you know what I'm saying? I like highlighting points like this. Like all that God is all love and flowers and candy and bunnies and all that shit. Not only did David kill Goliath, he took that African sword and cut his head off with his own goddamn sword. And when the Africans seen that they champion, that they big homie, you know what I'm saying, just got knocked off, all the rest of them ran. You know what I'm saying? He had faith and he had courage. That's how he was able to defeat Goliath. You get what I'm saying? Fast forward that to today. I see you. Fast forward that to today. The reason why we're able to go to Acuna, you understand? The reason why we're able to go to camp, the reason why we're able to have these classes, the reason why we're able to go out there and stand out there in them corners and call the oppressor the devil that the Bible speaks of, you understand? Because we have faith and we have courage. You understand? Come on with it, sis.
King David. See, I'm doing your number. Davis, when he was there today, he made two proclamations, and both of them came to pass. He said that the whole earth would know that there was a God of Israel.
Damn right.
And the whole earth knows about David and Goliath. And he also told Goliath exactly what he was going to do to him, and he did it just like he said.
1,000. You are absolutely correct when you say that. You get my point. I would like to read the rest of the chapter, but for time's sake, because I got some other scriptures where y'all going to see a little bit of both. Because again, the title of tonight's class is "Have No Fear and Be of Good Conscience." You understand? Let me see something real quick. Let me check it out. Let me see something real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna use this one. Let me see. Let's see something real quick. Check it out. Then actually, I was supposed to pull this earlier, but it's all right. The precept for 1 Samuel 17 and 43 is not Proverbs, like it's Psalms 22 and 7. It says, and all they that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip. They shake their head. That's Psalms 22 and 7. That's the precept that goes with 1 Samuel 17, verse 42 and 43. I meant to pull that earlier, but I forgot. All right, it's lucky for that. Let's get some more, right? Let's get Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. And again, as you're hearing the scriptures, you'll know where to put what, and you'll know how to apply what scripture to it's like to the topic again. Have no fear and be of good conscience. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. It said this is written in red. So this the man talking right here. This our king. It says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. You see what I'm saying? Like, why should you be scared of anything on this earth? Why should you be scared of the oppressor? You know what I'm saying? Why should you be scared of another man? You know what I mean? Why should you be scared of your woman? Whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm mentioning these things is because if you're scared of the oppressor, if you're scared of someone that's bigger than you, if you're scared of your woman, or if you're scared of your man, what you'll do is you'll compromise who you are and what you're supposed to be. Nick Cannon fears the oppressor. You understand me? Steve Harvey fears the oppressor. You understand? And I can go on and on and on, but I can turn it into a whole nother class. The point is, why fear the oppressor? You get my point? You'll not go to camp because you're scared that your woman gonna leave you, or you scared she gonna talk shit. You understand? Or whatever the case may be. You get my point? When in reality, you should be scared of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Because if you go out to camp and you die doing the work of the Lord, when you come back, your reward is going to be something that your mind can't even fathom. But imagine not going to camp because you're scared of your woman and something happened to your brothers out there. God forbid. And something happens to your brother out there. That right there is death in itself. Because you should have been out there with them. And that one extra body could have been the difference between winning and losing. You understand? And so now you got to have that on your conscience. You understand that your brother is laid up in the hospital because you was worried about, you know what I'm saying, your woman threatening you by going to go get another man, or whatever the case may be. She going to pack up and move, or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And so you didn't go to camp because of that. And your brothers needed you. You see what I'm saying? Christ is saying, fear not them which kill the body and are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. What's hell? You looking at it. Las Vegas is hell. You understand? South Central Los Angeles, that's hell. You get my point? New York City is hell. You know what I mean? I can go on and on and on. Y'all get the point, all right? Let's drop that. Let me get Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25. Let's get some more. Let's see. I still got some time. Let's get some more real quick, all right? This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. This right here is King David. Now I can say King David because we're not reading in Samuel's no more. You know what I'm saying? We're not reading 1 Samuel's no more, right? We're talking about King David now. You know what I mean? Or we talking about our King Yahushua. You get my point? It says, the fear of man bringeth a snare. Again, that's your Nick Cannons. That's your Billy Porters. You understand me? That's your what's the other little young dude? The Lil Nas X's. You get what I'm saying? That's your Cardi B's, and I can go on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get the point. It says, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Right? Meaning what? When we see all these things going on the news and all that, don't worry about it. We might talk about it, but we don't talk about it with fear. We'll be like, hey man, you got the CNN app, man? I just seen this. I just got the notification, man. Damn, that shit crazy. But you're not sitting there like, oh my God, what do I do? What's gonna happen next? You ain't doing all that because you put your trust in the Lord. You get my point? Come on with it.
And we do that so well.
Mm-hmm.
We did that so well that we had one of the best and one of the biggest Passovers in the midst of the whole earth being shut down.
Yeah.
We just, and it was supposed to storm and everything in Texas,
Mm.
but because we were there, Most I said, no, I'll keep the sun shining.
You see what I'm saying? That's a perfect example. All right, let me see something real quick. Let me check it out. I think we're gonna go to Deuteronomy next. Let me see something real quick. Okay, no, that's not. Let me see something. Hold on. Oh yeah. All right, this is where I want to go next. Boom. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6. All right. It says, "Be strong and of a good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee." Weak-minded individuals or dummies will read this scripture today and say, well, if that's the case, why are we going through all these things right now? Why is this happening to the babies? Why this and why that? You get what I'm saying? And it's a simple answer, right? How would you answer that if we were to read that scripture to a Christian and his or her response was, well, how can you say that when all these things are happening to our people? How would you answer that?
Are you still eating on that pork sandwich?
Boom. You get my point?
You still having abortions?
Done. You get my point? I give you an example, right? There was a brother that came to class another day, right? He came to class and he said he wanted to be a part of the get down, right? So boom, I tell the brother, I say, hey, listen, man, if you want to be a part of the get down, you got to start wearing all black. You understand? Boot, shirt, hair, headband, scarf, the whole get down. You understand? And I said, he said, oh yeah, man, yeah, no problem. I said, also, man, I said, as you start to come around, right? I said, you got to grow that beard. You understand? I said, if you can grow a beard, you start growing that beard. He said, oh no, I'm all military, man. I run around like the military. I'm in war. I'm at war right now with the oppressor. So I gotta blend in with the oppressor, right? I said, no, you don't. He said, yeah, that's how I've been able to fly under the radar all these times. He said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We gotta blend in with the oppressor, right? This is what he said, right? So my response to him was, when you get in a taxi that's driven by an Arab, does it not smell like musk? And he said, well, I don't know. I said, you telling me that if you got in a cab that was driven by an Arab, you telling me that it wouldn't smell funky? Right? He said, oh, I don't know. I said, okay, let me ask you like this. If you got into a cab that was driven by an Arab, would he not have that towel around his head? Yeah, I guess so. I said, okay. When you look at the Jewish man and you look at them stupid ass curls on the side of their head, I said, you don't see that? You don't see what they doing? I said, what does the stinking ass Arab, what is the dumbass curly head Jewish man, right? And what is that moron with the dot in the middle of his forehead? What do all them all have in common? I said, I'll take it a step further. I said, the Africans with the plates in their lips and them big ass spears running through their ears, right? What do all them have in common? Go ahead.
They continue to do their culture. They keep their culture. They keep their identity.
Exactly.
They don't blend in.
Exactly. I said, that's the same spirit that we're supposed to have. I said, I've been out here for almost a year and I've never not gotten a job because I would not cut my hair or I wouldn't cut my beard. Never. You see what I'm saying? Exactly. Brothers say they represent themselves. Exactly. They represent their culture. Go ahead.
It's lucky, sir. I mean, haven't we been blending into this stuff since they brought us over? It has not made anything better for us. And
it's funny, because I said, how'd that working out for you? You blend in amongst them, but you living like a coward. Because you got to, of course, I went to Why Trimmest Thou Thy Ways to Seek Love. I said, if you really about your father's business, if you really about serving the Lord, you're not going to worry about what they got to say. I said, because the Jewish man don't give a damn what nobody got to say. I said, when the last time you seen an Arab put some goddamn deodorant on? You know what? Because they ain't worried about nobody. They gonna do their thing whether you like it or not. You get what I'm saying? So it's examples like that as to why it is, you understand, that we got babies on the borders, why we got babies in cages and stuff like that, why that brother had to die trying to swim him and his baby girl to freedom. You understand? It's because this cat want to blend in with the oppressors. It's because, to your point, are you still eating that pork? I got another one real quick, right? Me and the brother was out. We went to the store real quick, right? And we went to, you know how like Circle K and all them stores, how they got all them different choices of different drinks and stuff you can get. And we sitting there talking like, damn, there's so much good shit in here. I don't know what to get, right? So the sister say, man, they trying to kill us, man, with all this soda, man. You know, soda ain't no good for you, man. She said Obama tried to, I think she said something about Obama tried to put a ban on. So some nonsense she said about Obama, right? I said, man, nobody give a damn about Obama. I said, Obama didn't do nothing. Who cares, right? And she said, yeah, I hear you. She said, but them sodas ain't no good for you, right? So my response was, right, word is bond. I wish the brother was here because he can confirm it. Word is bond. I said, if you think that soda is dangerous, I said, what the hell you think that pork is doing to you? She said, shit, I ain't giving them no pork. That's why I couldn't be a Muslim. That's exactly what she said. Me and we started laughing so goddamn hard. I said, so you'll put the soda down, which she didn't, by the way, because she got a soda. So while she's sitting there saying that the soda trying, because she still got a soda, and she not willing to put the pork down. You get my point? So again, for anyone who asks why it is, when we read the scripture, for anyone who asks, well, why is it that we going through all these things, and why is this happening to the babies, and why that? Because that sister said, this is why I couldn't be a Muslim, because I'm not putting down no pork, because pork is good. Her words. You understand? Word is bond. If I remember, I asked the brother on Thursday to break it down. He'd say the same thing. You see what I'm saying? Oh, the brother said you can get a no shave form in the military for religious reasons. Boom, done. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it.
And Salakia, sir, it's gonna be a really sad day. You have to stand before the Most High and say, I chose a pork chop over you. I chose a cigarette over you.
Yeah.
I chose a what you call it? A box that's infected over you. I mean, I chose all those things over you.
And that's the thing. Everything that you're saying is correct. Because think about it, right? Because that's the reality of it. Think about that for a second. You see what I'm saying? You want to know why Christ ain't came back, but yet you getting ready to celebrate Halloween. You're a 50-year-old man and you dressed up like a goddamn clown, but you want to know why we're dying as a nation. You get my point? You found out that weed was legal according to America, and the first thing that you went and did is when you got you a medical card. You see what I'm saying? I can go on and on, but to your point, you're absolutely correct. This is the mindset of like the brother says, she's a walking hypocrisy. He's absolutely correct. And the thing about it is, last time I checked, soda was lawful.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And what's so funny about it is you're talking about how the soda is killing us, but it didn't stop you from buying one. So, I mean, so again, to the point, if anyone wants to know why it is that we in the condition that we in 2021, it's because of sisters like that. It's because of brothers who think, you know what I mean, that they got to shave their beard or they got to get a shape up, you know what I mean, to get a slavery. You know what I mean? So you're that right there is a spirit of
the oppressor.
Yes, but no.
Oh, it's the spirit. What's our topic?
If you shaving your beard to blend in with the oppressor, if you're getting a shape up because you think you got to get a shape up to get a slavery, you understand? What is that spirit of? The brother said it, the spirit of fear. It's the mindset of the oppressor for sure, but it's the spirit of fear though. You're showing that you're scared of the oppressor because you're choosing a shape up over serving the Most High. You get what I'm saying? So the brother, that's correct. That's the answer, right? Let's get Matthew chapter 10, verse 36. So this right, everyone that said fear, that was the correct answer. All right. You're showing if you like, you know, I went on a job interview this Monday. And I went just like this. See, some of us is forgetting the rules of the class. You understand? No phones in the class. Phones on mute and alarms on mute too, right? But the thing is, though, when I went to that interview, you know what I'm saying? I did not go get a shape up. I did not cut my hair. I did not try to put my hair in a ponytail or, you know what I'm saying, try to perm my hair out and wear this, you know what I'm saying, this straight perm and other this nonsense. You know what I mean? I went in there with the shield, with the braids, and with the beard. You know what I mean? And if I do not get that slavery, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is, that's not what the Lord had in store for me. That's the mentality. I will never say, damn, if I would have cut my beard, then shit, they probably would have hired me. I would, no, listen, man, the day you hear me saying some dumb shit like that is the day, you know what I mean, that, you know, I'll be in Alaska some goddamn where, you know what I mean, living in a damn igloo or something like that, because I ran out of fear, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, I didn't turn into a coward, you know what I mean? There are no cowards in here, man. There's no spirit of fear in here, all right? This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 36. It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. You know what I'm saying? That's the setup. We're starting at 36 for a reason. This is the whole setup. Now, again, think about the topic. You understand? No fear, have no fear, and be of a good conscience. Right? It says, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Verse 37, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Right? Now think about what Christ is saying. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Right? How do you show that you love your father or your mother or your son or your daughter more than Christ? What is that a sign of? That's exactly what it is. It's a sign of fear. You're more worried about what your father's going to say versus what your father is going to say. You understand? Your father, which is in heaven, is way more important than your father, which is on earth. Now, I'm not telling nobody to disrespect their father, you know what I mean, but on earth. But what I am saying is if your father is trying to tell you to do something that you know is against the Most High, you don't do what your father tells you to do when you know it's against the Most High. You get what I'm saying? Because your fear of the Most High, you understand, is supposed to supersede your fear of your father, which is on earth. And for you parents out there that use your kids as an excuse, you're not built to be in here. You're not fit to be in here. If you're scared to tell your kids that there won't be no Christmas this year because we serve the Lord now, and you worried about them being mad at you, you understand? And so because of that, you go buy a Christmas tree. Not only are you not fit to be in here, but you deserve all the hell that you get from that ungrateful ass child. You deserve it. You get my point? Because the thing about it is, you're going to buy that gift for that child, and then they're going to turn around a week later because somebody got something that was better than what you got them, and they're no longer going to give a damn about what you just bought them. They're going to want what their friend at school came to school flossing, and they're going to want that, and they're going to shit on what you spent your hard-earned money on, and they're going to want that. And when you tell them, hey, I'm a little short right now because I got to pay this rent, they're going to storm away from you, mumble up under their breath, and slam the door in your face. And now you feeling bad. You're feeling stupid. You get what I'm saying? You're going to find a way to go get that money so you can go buy that gift for that undeserving ass, spoiled ass child. Come on with it.
And Salakia, sir,
Mhm.
if you think about it,
Mhm.
you ever seen kids really how they act on Christmas? They have 72 packages, and they tear this package,
Mhm.
oh yeah, and throw it. And they tear this package,
Mhm.
oh yeah, and throw it. I
Mhm.
mean, their ungratefulness is seen right there while they tearing packages open.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if none of them packages that they open is what they asked for. You understand? The smaller the box, they just pushing all them out the way. They looking for the big box. Fuck what's in these, because there's probably some socks or some underwear. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe this bitch bought me some underwear for Christmas. What the fuck? They doing all that. Where's the big box? You understand? With the 92-inch TV in it. You get what I'm saying? Where's the Xbox 3000 at? You get my point? Where's the iPhone 27 at? You understand? Or that whack ass Android 30 or whatever the case may be. Nobody's gonna be mad if they don't get an Android for Christmas. I highly doubt it. That's another conversation for another day. You understand? The bottom line is, okay, the bottom line is that if you fear your kids more than Christ, that's why Christ is saying you're not worthy of him. You see what I'm saying? He's saying it. I ain't saying it. That's what Christ said. We just read it. You get what I'm saying? So that right there, that scripture is important because it shows you the spirit of fear. If you love your parents, and when he's saying love, meaning that you'll listen to them over Christ. Let's make sure that we have that understood. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's telling you not to listen to your parents unless they're telling you something that's on the left-hand side. You get my point? Like, for example, come over for Thanksgiving. We're having a Halloween party. You get what I'm saying? But if they say, hey, you want to come to this graduation party? Oh, yeah, ain't no thing. I'm there. I mean, you want to come to this baby shower? Not really, but I'll go. You understand? That's different. But if you come to the, well, you know, little Johnny's turning 3 today, you know what I mean? Why don't you slide through? Nah, I'm not doing that. You know he gonna be mad at you. That nigga can't even talk. So like, come on with it.
you know the scripture that says the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. Would that be a precept to this also?
You can you can definitely tie it in there because think about it, because the wisdom is, I'm not gonna listen to them on this one. I'm gonna listen to what the Most High told me to do. So I'm not gonna go to that New Year's party like the brother just put in the chat. I'm not gonna go to that New Year's party because of the wisdom, you know what I'm saying, that I've learned from fearing the Most High. What is the fear of the Most High? Not celebrate New Year's. Because I don't know how many times I didn't said this. We're Israel. We do not need a reason to party. When have we ever needed a reason to party? Niggas party when they get fired.
Yeah.
You get my point? The first thing they want to do is go have a drink or two. Or let's keep reading. You understand where we at? Verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Which means do the work that Christ did. And when Christ ain't even talking about, you know what I'm saying, raising up the dead, you know what I mean? Like he did. He literally raised up the dead. You know what I mean? We're required to go out there and raise up the spiritually dead. Christ raised up the physical and the spiritual dead. He's not actually to raise up the physical dead. You get my point? Where we at? Verse 39. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. You get what I'm saying? Meaning what? If Nick Cannon wasn't so scary, you know what I mean, and gave up that life, he would have gained his life. In his mind, him tucking tail for the oppressor, he gained his life. Why? Because he got his show back and he got a new show and he's still doing Masked Singer and all other stupid goofball shit they got him doing. You get my point? He think he won. And what's so sad about it is he's so stupid and he's so simple that he doesn't even realize in order to win, he had to give up his God. Which shows you what? His love of money supersedes his love of the Most High. He never loved the Most High. That's why when he started talking that shit, we was on him from the jump. We knew he wasn't about his father's business. We knew it. Fake ass Mitri and all. You know what I'm saying? The braids and all. We knew he wasn't about his father's business. You understand? That's why, again, in 1 Timothy, the 6th chapter, that's why I always emphasize anytime I'm teaching on that scripture, for the love of money. Don't leave off the for the love part. Let's not leave that part off like TD Jakes likes to do. You understand me? For the love of money is the root of all evil. Nick Cannon is a walking, living, breathing example of the love of money. Steve Harvey, TD Jakes, Tyler Perry, Will Smith. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on. Will Smith is going through the hell that he's going through, you know what I'm saying, because his love of money, you know what I'm saying, is why he did the things that he's done throughout his career. Come on with it.
And Slock is her. And that's what you get when you blend in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bro, talk about, you know, he not shaving his beard and all, but that's the kind of stuff you wind up doing and being when you blend in with
people. For sure. And then you look at the end result though. A lot of them they look bad. Some of them in their 40s, in their 50s, which is still, in my opinion, still a young age. You understand? But a lot of them look like twice their age. A lot of them. When you look at some of them young Disney stars, you look at them today, a lot of them, they all look strung out. Michael Jordan, that's a good one. Lil Wayne really look beat the hell up. I don't know how old he is, but he looks way older than what he really is. Anybody know how old Lil Wayne is? You know? No. Somebody look that up for me, please. Somebody online, let me know, or anybody in class. Somebody let me know how old Lil Wayne is, because however old he is, you understand, it's hard to believe because he looks way older than whatever he is. You know what I'm saying? The brother said Michael Jordan and Lil Wayne, they look horrible. You are absolutely correct. You know what I'm saying? Because their fear of the oppressor, you understand, is why they do the things that they do. He's 39. That dude's 2 years younger than me. You know what I mean? I'm 41 years old, and I like to think I look younger than that dude. You get my point? Those iron Christ, right? Let's get some more. He that receiveth you, receiveth me. And he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me. Verse 41. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Right? Hey, the water, everybody, for letting me know. I appreciate it. So now, when you read 40 and 41, how does those two scriptures tie into the breakdown? While y'all thinking about it, I'm gonna read it again. Because my question is, how did the last two verses that we just went over tie into the breakdown? Verse 40 says, he that receiveth you, receiveth me. And he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. How does that tie into the breakdown? For time's sake, I'm gonna give it to y'all. If it comes in late, you know what I'm saying, I'll you know what I'm saying, I'll let you know if that was the right answer or not. All right. I still got a few more I want to go over real quick. All right. The reason why those two scriptures tie into the breakdown is because you have to remember the second part of the title. You gotta remember the topic of tonight's class is, you know what I'm saying, have no fear, but be of a good conscience. You see what I'm saying? That's true, times of war, but that doesn't, I mean, that's true, but it doesn't apply to this breakdown. But you are correct though. You know what I'm saying? But according to but based on the topic and what it is that we covering, it doesn't apply to exactly what it is that we're talking about. But the big picture is though, you're correct. You do reap what you sow though. Come on with it.
So it's like King David.
Uh-huh.
He did not fear.
Uh-huh.
He had faith and he had courage.
Uh-huh.
He did not fear.
Right.
What was because he knew that the Most High was with him.
Right.
So you read. What did it say about the receiving the prophet and stuff?
I'll give you an example though, to what you're saying. Since you mentioned King David, think about when the priest gave him the showbread when he was on the run. That was them being of a good conscience. Now that food was for the priest.
Right.
King David was on the run and he was hungry. Okay. They fed him.
Yes.
And the reason why I'm not putting that because for time's sake, but you get the point though. Again, this part of the breakdown that we going into is more so on the other half of the topic, which is being of a good conscience. You get what I'm saying? Like, use yourself as an example and think about all the great works that you do in the name of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's of a good conscience. That you can sleep at night knowing that you helped the priest. You understand that you looked out for a prophet. You get my point? That's the whole point of this. And we're gonna pull scriptures. You understand that goes into that. All right. This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 6. All right. This is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 6. So that we may boldly say, The Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. You understand? Again, going back into the fear part. So these last few scriptures are going to be a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? And as you read them and when you write them down, as you go back to study them and you think about the topic, if you decide that you want to teach this on your own one day, you know what I'm saying? Or a mother want to pass it down to her daughters, you know what I'm saying? You'll know how to separate the two. Hebrews 13:6 says, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. This is why we go to camp. Like I said earlier, this is why we do the things that we do in the name of the Lord. We ain't worried about nothing. You understand? Let's see. Let me see something real quick. Let me check it out. Proverbs. I think I want. Let's see. Proverbs. Yeah, this is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 25. We're gonna read Proverbs 3 and 25 down to 27. All right. It's the book of Proverbs chapter 3, verse 25. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall keep thy confidence and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Right? Verse 27. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. You understand? So what just happened from verses 25 to 27? What did y'all just see in those three verses? While I wait on our answer, I'll read it again. You got it, sis? Go ahead.
No fear in good conscience.
That's exactly it. 25 and 26 talked about the fear. Because it says, be not afraid of sudden fear, meaning when everybody else gets scared of something that they just seen on the news or some kind of terrorist attack or something like that, you understand, or some school shooting or something like that, you understand? Don't worry about none of that. You get my point? It says, fear the Lord that keep thy confidence, and he shall keep thy foot from being taken. And then you see the transition. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due. You get what I'm saying? The reason why you sisters do what y'all do is because y'all do not withhold. Y'all know this verse without even knowing this verse. It's in y'all spirit. You understand? To do right. You understand, by the men above you. It says, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. You understand? Everyone in here does something for someone. You understand, when they're in a position to do it, even when they don't want to do it. That's the spirit that we all should be in. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some times where you're going to be asked to do something and you're not going to want to do it. You get my point? But you're in a position to do it, so you do it. You know what I mean? And that's being of good conscience, because you know the Lord will be with you, and in some way, shape, or form, the Lord will get that back to you. You understand? Let me see something real quick. Let me check it out. 10 more minutes. Let me see. See if I can run through these.
So like you said, when you just said that, there's the scripture when the Lord said that when we leave everything, it will be given back to us 100-fold in this life and the next. You know,
you're asking. I don't remember where it is, but I am familiar with it.
Because if you overcome the fear, you have the good conscience, you do, then it is coming back to you, the 100-fold in this life and the next.
Right.
As long as you don't have the fear and you do like this scripture just said.
Right, of a good conscience. No, absolutely. And that's the thing. And some of us that are maybe a little younger and a little less seasoned, they'll automatically go to the money part and think, oh, well, I gave $100, so the Lord's gonna give me $100,000. Like, nah, it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? He never said exactly how you're gonna get it back. He just said you was gonna get it back. You get my point? Don't always think about the money. You get what I'm saying? Let me see something real quick. Let me check it out. Let me see. 1 Peter 3. Yeah, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 16. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 16 says, having a good conscience, that I just thought about that. I put conscious instead of conscience in the title for tonight's class. I just thought about it as I'm reading the scripture. This one I was supposed to put in there, conscience, not conscious. But anyway, y'all get the point. So Salakia for that. having a good conscience, that whereas that they speak evil of you as of evildoers, they may be ashamed that falsely accuse your good conversation in Christ. For it is better, if the will of God be so, that ye suffer for well doing than from evil doing. For Christ also hath once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to God, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit. Right? So, as you can see, this right here is more so talking about the being of a good conscience. Right? It says, how do you know? Because it starts off by saying, having a good conscience. That where they speak evil of you, it actually goes both ways. And if they speak evil of you, don't be in fear. Keep the good conscience. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what they saying about you, what they think about you, because you change your life for the sake of the Most High. Well, in the name of the Most High, for the sake of your salvation. That's why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing the Most High a favor by getting righteous. You're doing yourself a favor. Because with the snap of his finger, he can take you out. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because I remember Cosby said on the episode, I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. You know what I'm saying? The reality of it is the Lord brought you into this world and he'll take you out. You understand? How do you know? Because he took Bill Cosby's old ass out. You get my point? He rotted his old ass in that jail for a minute and he came out so humbled and broken. You know what I mean? Whether he did it or not, that's not what we're here for. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what really he probably did? Who knows? You get my point? The point of the matter is, you know what I'm saying? It's the Lord that does the bringing in, and it's the Lord that does the taking out. You understand? Let's get it. Let me see. Let me double check real quick. I think. Oh yeah, definitely want this one. Let's get Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Let's get Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 10. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. This is chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is reproach to thy children." Right? So the reason why I'm speaking on this, you know what I'm saying, especially because I can speak to this personally, right? Don't take joy or make fun of your father because he's in a bad situation, he's jammed up. When I talk to my father, you know what I mean, and we're probably in the class on this. Again, this is me speaking personally. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my father here and there, you know what I mean? And this brother is in his 60s, in his early 60s, right? And that brother, you understand, unfortunately, he still is out there, you know what I'm saying, chasing that high. And that high could be anything you can wrap your mind around, unfortunately. You get my point? And so when I talk to him, and a lot of times he doesn't remember who I am and who he's talking to. You see what I'm saying? I don't sit there and make fun of him or laugh at him. You get my point? When I got off the phone with him the other day and he said, I'm good though, you know what I'm saying? I'm just finna smoke this weed, and he chuckled, right? I chuckled not because I was laughing at him. It was more so of what he told me earlier in the conversation. It's like you went through all these things and yet you still choose to go this route. But yet you try to figure out why all these things are happening to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not a light thing or an easy thing for me to sit here and say these things about, you know what I'm saying, about my father. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for him, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't be in his bloodline. You get my point? Which means I wouldn't be able to sit here and teach this class. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I don't sit there and laugh at him or clown him, but I am disappointed. And something that we all should take into consideration is, you understand, what we should never do is take the Most High's mercy and his kindness and his grace for granted. And I'll take it off of him. I'll take it off of my father, and I'll just speak on it across the board. All these brothers and sisters, ourselves included, that were allowed to make it through to our adult years without too many bumps and bruises, That's the mercy of the Lord. And because of Christianity, we're of the mindset of God loves us no matter what we do. You get what I'm saying? In the reality, we're getting these passages from the Lord because he's trying to get us to do right. You get what I'm saying? So he'll give you a few slaps on the wrist. He'll give you a few slaps on the wrist. And then when he say, okay, I didn't give this brother too many passes, or I didn't give this sister too many passes. You know what I'm saying? Now I have to get rid of him or her. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says he loveth who he chasteneth. Or it's like he chasteneth who he loveth. I'm paraphrasing, but y'all get the point. You get what I'm saying? And it's a shame that, in 2021, with all these things that's going on in the world, with all these things that's happening around us, we're still putting our trust in everything and everybody except the Most High. You know what I mean? And talking to my father the other day made me appreciate the mercy and the favor that, for whatever reason, the Most High decided to show towards me, because I did not deserve it. And if everybody gonna be honest with themselves, none of us deserved it, because none of us came out the womb serving the Lord. None of us. So everybody that's watching this tape right now, everybody that's in this classroom right now, we owe it to the Lord to always put forth our best foot, always put forth our best efforts, even on the days that we don't want to. You're gonna wake up sometimes, neck might be a little stiff, back might be a little sore, ankle might be a little swollen. You understand? Head might hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? And you might go through these things. You get what I'm saying? You're going through these ailments. And in your mind, you think, damn, a little weed will take this pain away. You know what I'm saying? Just one little snort of this white will take all this pain away. You get my point? Don't ever be of the mindset, because the little pain that you're going through, although it's uncomfortable as hell, you get what I'm saying? This comes from you know what I'm saying? A brother with a herniated disc in my neck and in my back. You know what I'm saying? The pain is uncomfortable as hell, and it gets annoying as hell, and it's hard to sleep sometimes. No doubt about it. You get what I'm saying? But I'd rather be dealing with that. I'd rather be dealing with those things, you know what I mean, than sitting behind bars for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Or, burying my kids because I did some stupid shit. You see what I'm saying? Anything along those lines. You get my point? So that's why let's get this last one, and we're gonna close the class on this. All right. I believe it's Romans. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is Romans chapter 6, verse 1. All right, Romans chapter 6, verse 1 and 2. It says, what shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? This is Paul asking a question. He's actually asking a rhetorical question. How do you know? Because he answered it himself in verse 2. He said, God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? That part right there is so goddamn heavy. Think about what he just said. He said, how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? What does that mean? Let's go back. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? What is he saying? Come on with it.
So how do you keep eating that pork chop sandwich when you know that it's not something that you're supposed to do?
Yes.
You don't. I mean, and you know it. It's not a, well, maybe it's an absolute something you're not supposed to do.
Yes.
And you know that. So why do you continue to do it? And it's because Christianity says that God loves you no matter what.
Right.
And it's a lie. He loves you if you do what he tells you to.
Right.
So it's yeah.
No, what
It's
you
a condition.
yeah.
It's not unconditional like
Right.
they keep teaching.
No, that's real talk. What you said is real talk. It says, how shall we that are dead to sin, meaning what? We're no longer supposed to be under sin. We're supposed to, because we killed that old man or we killed that old woman. So we're supposed to be dead to sin. We're not supposed to be sinning. So if we're dead to sin, how should we long? How should we? How shall? How? Wait. It says, how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? In other words, how's it that you supposedly killed that old man, but yet you still living like the old man? That's what he's saying. How's it that you get a Hebrew name, right? And you start and you get the head wrap, and you got the shield earrings, you understand, and you got the salute down pat, feet at a 45-degree angle, you doing the whole thing. You understand? Or you a brother and you got the salute down pat, you got it. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, who Commander General Yohana is, and you know who General Kobalamoth is, going from high rank to lower ranking general, right? And you know all these brothers, and you when you see them, you salute. You doing the whole thing. You a sister, you know what I'm saying, and you can't wait to get to class, and you bring your famous black eyed peas, you understand, or your corn on the cob, you know what I mean, or your baked bean, whatever the case may be. These are the things that you bring into class. You understand? But in reality, you know what I'm saying, you still Jeff from 83rd Street. You get my point? Or you still Jackie from Southside Compton. You get my point? You're still that, but for 2 hours, you understand, you put that head wrap on, you know what I mean, and you come sit your ass in this class and you just, the whole thing. Or you a brother, you come in all black, you shine your boots up, you offering to shine another brother's boots up, you doing the whole thing. You get my point? But in reality, when you leave here, you understand, you taking a war band off, you putting a bandana back on. You get what I'm saying? How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? You understand? My father is a reminder to me, you understand, to continue to fight this fight. You know what I'm saying? I continue to fight this fight, and I pray that the Lord continue to give me the spirit and the zeal to continue to fight, so that Lord willing, he'll have enough mercy on him to where Lord allow, he'll bring him out of that and bring him in here. You understand? And that mindset right there, the same mindset that every brother and sister should have, because you're already working on, you know what I'm saying, getting your own crown. You know what I mean? But how about you be so righteous to where everybody, you understand, that used to know you, look at you like, what the hell are you on? Why are you glowing? You understand? Why are you so, what the hell you got going on, and how can I be down? You understand? With that, I know I ran a couple minutes over the time, so I get for that. You understand? With that, you understand, we are Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. You understand? Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth according to the Bible? That you are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. What does that mean? That means you are the greatest people on the face of the earth. That's right. You understand? Again, this was the Las Vegas Brotherhood class. You understand? Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have class from 7 to 9 p.m. You understand? Pacific Standard Time. You understand? If anyone is in the Las Vegas area, you understand, looking for the class, you know what I'm saying, have any questions, need any kind of information, you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas, on Facebook, and on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. You understand? And with that, Shalom Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shema Thumb Bashim Yahweh Shai to the sisters.